Hello and welcome to Choice of Robots. My name is Ace and I'll be let's playing this game for everybody today. I have replayed this. I have played this and I'll be replaying this. Why? Because I really liked it and I want to show you why I really liked it. It's a sci-fi story. It basically runs as a choose-your-own-adventure, a la Mass Effect or any BioWare-esque game. So your choices do have consequences with everything in the story. From turning down a date with somebody to choosing to spend a little extra bucks on a material to making a business deal, buying certain types of land, going on a Mediterranean sea cruise. All those things impact the story. Even when you go on vacation, the story opens up options to you to increase your stats in love, increase your stats in like technology, or increase your business, or increase your patriotic sense. Why? We will understand that when we get into the story. Of course, this is a sci-fi. It involves robots. If anybody's playing Overwatch, you'll understand the sort of man versus machine aspect to this sort of sci-fi thing. Not a new concept, and it's constantly being hammered in all sorts of sci-fi. For Star Trek with the holograms, let's see. Okay, Overwatch with the robots. What else? I'm pretty sure Stargate did. Yeah, Stargate, where they had the cloned robots of themselves. Are they really alive? That sort of thing. Anyways. Let's just get into the story. And I'll show you how we play through it. Now, I was debating before I started this Let's Play of whether I should make different choices based on one so I could be surprised along with you, everybody. But then I think maybe sometimes that'll lead me down the path of a bad ending, or because you can die I think halfway throughout the story. You can make terrible choices that'll get yourself killed in actually multiple ways. My first playthrough actually ended up having getting exploded. So that was surprising, but expected. I was like, nah, nothing bad's gonna happen, and later I know I got exploded. It happens. Yeah. Alright. Let's just get into it. Right. Here's the game. Thank you, Kevin Gold, with your PhD. Excellent story. Watch him have a PhD in, I don't know, botany. You made a really sweet sci-fi about robots. Good job, man. No matter what your PhD is in. Right. First choice of the game. Where are you? In the court of the Egyptian god Anubis, answering for my sins. On a war-torn battlefield with a robotic Statue of Liberty. On a cliff in Ireland, watching the sun with a robot companion. On a utopian beach, ruled by a godlike cloud of robots. Okay, I went with this. I think I went with this one. Actually, it's on a cliff in Ireland, watching the sunset with a robot companion. Alright. Sitting on a seaside cliff in Ireland, watching the sunset, is the robot companion you've always wanted. He proposed to me at this very spot. Oh, I'm choosing my gender. She proposed to me at this very spot. Or choosing what I'm into? It's been like a year since I played this. Twice? I played it twice in a row before. And then I just left it alone. Till now. So these answers are a little foggy and I forget how to meta the game, which is a good thing. He and I travel the world together, exploring. She and I travel the world together. Exploring. She proposed to me. Yeah, let's go to the romantic way. Let's make me a robot lover. She proposed to me at this very spot. Indeed. And you said yes. You had to move to Europe and to find a country willing to legally marry you, but you don't regret a thing. +2 empathy, +1 grace. Now, that's one of the choices where if I chose probably sort of the militaristic route, I'll probably have more for like technology and money, probably, as my beginning stats, but here I get a boost to my empathy and grace, which do play along in other parts in non-robot lovemaking, because you can have empathy with humans, you can have empathy with business, you can have empathy with robots. And that's if you choose certain paths. Right, back to the story. She is clothed in a loose-fitting red tunic, and her face is a beautiful sculpture. You sit down beside her to watch the sunset together. I hope I didn't keep you waiting, you say. Actually, I'm still waiting, she says with a slight smile, for you to build me. I can do that? You say. She looks sad for a moment. Yes, but it will take a lot out of you. She puts her hand on yours. But I promise you that if you give your humanity to me, then I will give it back one day. I don't understand, you say. Just remember that no great thing happens without sacrifice, she says, and I'm sorry. Some things are in our control and others are not. Epictetus. Cool quote. So true, so true. Alright. People had that down for thousands of years. You awaken with your head on a desktop keyboard. Your 3D drafting program is still open, the schematic zoomed into the recess where your smartphone will snap into its back to act as its brain. You recall fiddling with that part endlessly last night, until finally, your vision began to fade. There was a roaring in your ears, and you realized you had been working far, far too long. You must have passed out. It's the fall 2019. You're a 24-year-old graduate student in the PhD program in computer science at Stanford. And you're a girl. Like both times before I played as a dude. Let's play as a girl. And I don't think I made that choice before to have a romantic relationship with a robot girl in my dream. But let's do this. Oh, really? I remember the guys being like Tesla, Einstein, and such. Oh, okay, Marie Curie, Hypatia, Sophia. Let's see. I don't recognize these other names of famous scientists. Marie Curie. It's the only one I can think of. Grace? Damn it. Well, thanks, public school. Alright, here, I'll type it for you. Next. Okay. At least this gets this. I always like this name. Celine. Celine? Okay. I'm gonna say. I made the name and I say it's Celine. Is that right? Yes. Oh, there it is. That's my last name. Oh, okay. So it gave me generic first names. Oh, okay, that's neat. All right, so it didn't crap me out with shitty names. All right, cool. And I always go Tesla. Don't worry, the names are nothing. As far as I know, it doesn't affect the game. You look around your apartment. What does it look like? Let's see. My BattleBots trophy is perched on a widescreen TV equipped with the latest video game consoles. I wish. Neatly labeled plastic shelving units sit on a 3D printer, equipped robot workbench. I wish. Busts of famous philosophers sit next to my own attempts to sculpt them. I'm okay with not that. My shelves display all strange little robotic creatures I've made over the years. Now, I could meta the game, because I think this gives me stats on certain things. But let's go with video games. Yeah. I didn't get. Oh, what? Military. So +2 military points there. And yes, the game keeps track of it throughout your entire story. Yes, you're a competitive person by nature, and you grew interested in artificial intelligence by coding AI for games. When your high school fielded a team for a local BattleBots competition, sponsored by the nearby defense contractor, you eagerly took up the challenge and won with an aggressive bot that would ram the enemy bot while it was still figuring out where it was. You continued to compete at a college level. Nice. So I'm a BattleBots nerd. Awesome. It strikes you for a moment. Oh, it reminds me, what was that movie? It was a cheesy kids movie, but it was called Real Steel. I liked it. Guilty pleasure my ass. I'll watch that in front of everybody. Alright, no more memories. It strikes you for a moment that this kind of thinking about your life affects your robots is second nature to you. I didn't read that sentence right. Though others might find it peculiar. You've always been fascinated by how every little detail of your life, from the content of your dreams to the decor of your room, changes the inputs to the robots you create, boosts their empathy, or autonomy, or grace, or appeal to the military. Surely, there are other things going on around you as a result of your decisions, but they don't immediately strike you in the same way. Today your robot is foremost on your mind because you're about to build its body. You pick up your laptop and head for the Stanford Machine Shop. It is a beautiful spring day in Palo Alto, California, and your apartment is only a short walk from the machine shop. But the streets of Palo Alto are not designed for walking. You find yourself climbing around palm trees and balancing on narrow curves as you do every day. You hear a low roar overhead. Glancing up, you see it's a flying car. A Nimbus. A little over $300,000 can buy you a car with wings that fold out, so that it becomes a small, short sport plane. The red Nimbus looks sleek and sporty. It's the sort of car its owner takes religiously to the car wash, though the commercials would have you believe you can fly anywhere you want in those cars. The FAA still requires them to take off and land from airports. Only here in wealthy Silicon Valley do you see them with any frequency. The first time you saw one, you couldn't quite believe the future had arrived so quickly. But the second time you saw one, you thought, real thoughts? I don't give a damn. Why aren't those flying cars driving themselves? That's a good question. If I ever make that much money, I wouldn't... I'll use it to help the world instead of buying a flying car. Yeah. That's actually what I'd consider for reals. Alright. You don't understand Silicon Valley sometimes. If you had $300,000, surely you could save many lives with that money. You promise yourself that you will hang on to your ideals, even if you should become wealthy. The Stanford University fabrication shop smells like oil and burnt plastic. The room is dominated by large metal hand-cranked milling machines and lathes. Dinosaurs of the 20th century. While the most used machines are the smaller 3D printers and computer-controlled water jet cutters that take a quarter of the space, the lights have the sterile fluorescence of an operating room, with only a single tiny window near the ceiling to inform you that it's day. You start up a national public radio podcast on your laptop. You haven't seen your advisor much since you joined the lab, so you choose the episode in which he's the interviewee. My guest today is Dr. Harvey Ziegler. Says a woman with a soothing voice. I did that opposite. Dr. Ziegler, thank you for talking with us today. Well, a scientist does have some responsibility to inform the unwashed masses, Terry. You let the podcast run as you walk over the 3D printers. What material have you decided to use for your robot? It's gonna be metal as fudge. Alright. I promised myself I'd tone down the cursing, even though I don't think I do that much. Unless somebody made a compilation of my videos and then shoved it back in my face and be like, see? F-bombs up the wazoo. Well, Yeah, I'm gonna try, damn it. I'm gonna try to change that. Let's see, metal. I'm gonna pick metal because, well, I mean, plastics are strong, but metal, metal's awesome. All right, and wood is the most pleasing to the hand and eye. That sounds weird. I'll just go with metal. All right. +1 military for choosing metal. I'm sure I would have had like grace or what was the other one? I don't know. You walk over to you walk over to the computer-controlled water jet cutter, where a helpful pictogram shows the jet abrasive-filled water slicing a hand in two. Good. Thank you, OSHA, for the warning. Dr. Ziegler, in your new book, you talk about the singularity. Could you describe for our listeners what that is? Terry, the singularity is coming from... Oh, shit, I forgot his accent. All right. Terry, the singularity is coming... I'll just make it sound like a douche. Terry, the singularity is coming time when artificial intelligences will have figured out how to make themselves and thus smarter. Once that happens, the process will build on itself until the robots are smart enough to figure out how we can live forever. I didn't like that voice, but I already read the stuff. Is that possible? The interviewer asked. Living forever. I know this guy's a... Well, I know you could choose to be friends with him, or choose not to be friends with him. I constantly choose not to be a friend with this guy. Of course, Professor Ziegler says. What does it matter whether our operating systems are made out of meat or silicon? So you're predicting we'll become robots? Not exactly, Ziegler says, but I do think the line between humans and robots will blur. You are hardly listening to the podcast because you're about to make your first robot part. What does the head of your robot look like? All those voices I just gave Dr. Ziegler, I think I'm sticking with the last one. That's how I picture him. Picture him like Dennis from Jurassic Park, the first one. Only with like a grumpy, like constantly having food fall out of him. Alright. Let's see, what do I want to make my robot head look like? A human face is lifelike as I can make it. A simple box with eyes clearly not trying to be anything but a robot. It will be felt covered and big-eyed like a puppet so people will not be afraid of it. Big fuzzy animal. It will have a ring of cameras around its head for a 360-degree view. That one makes me uncomfortable. Why? Because selfie cameras built into your phone. They freak me out. Alright, like this. I'm always watching you. It would look like a Venetian mask, beautiful, expressionless, and otherworldly. Yeah, let's do the mask. Why did I choose that? Well, I mean, my reasoning is for this as lifelike as I can make it. I'm not confident with my skills yet because I'm still in college and I'm using college resources to make a robot. The Stanford is impressive even in the future, but still I think maybe myself, my own abilities won't be as it'll be like an uncanny valley. It'll be too freaky. And let's see, a simple box with eyes, clearly not basically Bender. I'm like, nah, it's okay. It's not appealing. Let's see, and that's a felt covered, big-eyed like a puppet, basically a big teddy bear. I'm like, nah. I'm okay without it. It will have a ring of cameras around its head for a 360-degree view. Now that's impressive for like if you're building like a battle bot, which is my forte. But I chose the mask, beautiful, expressionless, and otherworldly. So that reminds me of Dishonored 2, the robots, and it's not out yet. But I mean the robot enemies in it. That's what it reminds me of, and it looks awesome. It also reminds me of Orlais from Dragon Age. So that's what I like, and it appeals to me. Why? Because it looks cool, and no other reason. And I'm playing through this, and you can't judge me. Well, you can, but too bad, because I already made the decision. All right. The water jet cutter quickly cuts the face, the small nose, the dainty mouth, the large black holes where the CCD panels will absorb all light. It takes somewhat longer to add the intricate metal frill that adds the corona to the mask. This is a robot that will command awe. 2 grace, -1 empathy. Oh, okay, so it's grace, empathy, and military. And I think the last one's money. Those are the 4 stats, I guess, that run through the game. That will affect my every being. Let's see. Dr. Ziegler, what makes you think the singularity will happen now?
Well, for one thing, I'm around. But seriously, my lab is taking a unique approach because we're saying, why not teach a robot like a child? We're going to equip the robot with all the best sensors money can buy and teach it English. Then it could rapidly teach itself using the internet.
Well, that's annoying. Your advisor thought that a robot child was a stupid idea until you told him Turing proposed it back in 1950, minus the internet part. But he isn't giving credit to either of you. You keep working regardless. So, I mean, that right there is a reason, well, why I didn't like him the last few times. I mean, I could give my next playthrough a shot, or you could, see how things turn out. Probably really well in a different way. But, fuck him. See, I guess technically I've been reincarnated 3 times into this world, and all times I choose to hate on this guy. To hell with you, Ziegler. How will your robot get around? It will walk upright on 2 legs. It will crawl on 8 legs. It will roll on wheels. It will fly like a helicopter. It will roll on tank threads. It will walk uptight, but will also have a delicate wings it can use for balance. Alright, let's just go through the options and I'll tell you why I picked this one. It will walk uptight on 2 legs. If I choose this, it means I want the robot to represent being human as much as possible, to be relatable. And be like, oh, you got 2 legs? Shit, I got 2 legs. Fucking homies, pound it. You know, that kind of thing. Then there's, it will crawl on 8 legs. That is... Okay, so you get... I think that counts more towards military. Having like a spider-like bot. Because, well, you get one blown off and then you keep walking. And extra stability for firing guns. You could probably attach a bigger gun on it. Just me thinking. It will roll on wheels. Okay, wheels, but unless I picture it attached to like the bottom or the torso of the robot, so like maybe 4 wheels, and I don't imagine the wheels being mobile, as in you can sort of lift one up like an arm and then crawl upstairs. So I think you're only going to be limited to flat terrain. Helicopter. Well, I think it'll probably use a lot more energy that way. The robot. I mean, sure, it's useful and can get around fast, but it's not... well, I guess actually it's pretty good. This also works as a military, right? Flying drones. But this is an AI. So I chose not this one because, well, I don't like it. Helicopter. And also because I think it uses up more energy. Because what if you just want to, yeah, and then I don't know how big the propellers are going to be. So you might like, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. So, no. Okay. Tank threads. Interesting. Reminds me of Johnny 5. Threads is cool. But you can still get around things with legs, even even if it's got tank threads. So you have increased mobility with legs. So there's a possibility of jumping and climbing on, vertical terrain. And on tank threads, you need a steady slope. So legs is doing the thing. And this is my final choice. Why? Because extra balance. It's legs and wings. I don't know. So, yeah. Cool. Well, I guess the wings are mostly for show, but they also work for balance. Alright, let's see how my decision played out. You stretch a polyester film between the metal spokes of the wings and then attach these to your robot's back. The wings should give your bipedal robot better balance, and in case it does begin to fall, they will act as a kind of parachute that will give it more time to recover, +2 grace. However, angels are not known for being approachable, and your robot's appearance will set it apart from people. Well, shit. -1 empathy, +2 grace. You use the basic hand-cranked milling machines to drill holes in the head for screws, since the water jet cutters aren't the best for those 4 threaded holes. Blech. And who's going to raise this robotic child? The interviewer asks.
Who does all the grunt work in the research laboratory?
Professor Ziegler says.
The graduate students, of course.
You find yourself wanting to reply to the podcast. Son of a bitch. Well, it's not grunt work. Education is critical to the robot's development. We also do all the real science. Perhaps you could learn something from doing a little grunt work yourself, Professor Ziegler. Anybody get that chill on their spine like they're being watched right now? I do. But I'm going to click on this just for fun, even though I know the consequence. So I say, we also do all the real science.
I think you'll learn sooner or later that getting funded to do real science requires a certain amount of management and salesmanship,
says Professor Ziegler, who appears to have entered the machine shop behind you when you weren't looking. Good times to talk shit out loud, right? Professor Ziegler is a heavy-set man wearing a Hawaiian shirt and aviator glasses. He stalks over to your computer. We'll be back in a moment, continues the interviewer. We're talking with Professor Ziegler pauses the podcast by hitting your laptop spacebar. And as you flinch at this intrusion, he then pulls a cigar from his pocket and lights it. The smell of smoke mingles with the oily smell of the machine shop.
I'm writing a grant for DARPA, and I need to see what you're making back here. We ultimately get funded by the Department of Defense, so we have to make sure they're happy with our product.
He casts a critical eye on the work you've done so far.
Metal's a good choice, Ziegler says. They'll want things that appear durable on the field.
Professor Ziegler turns to examining a robot's head, which is currently sitting on the table next to the water jet cutter.
Seems all right,
Ziegler says.
Looks like it could be sufficiently intimidating. And what are you planning to do for arms and hands?
Professor Ziegler says. T-Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex, with the most intimidating dinosaur imaginable, wasn't it? He will have T-Rex arms. So if I want to troll, he will have a gun for arm, like Mega Man. Mechanical grippers built for the strength instead of dexterity. I was thinking sort of a Swiss Army knife, hands with tools that pop out of the fingers. I plan to build a soft hand with a good sense of touch. I was thinking, why just 2 arms? It will have lots of arms springing out of its back, like Inspector Gadget. Now, I think the last few times I had the same choice, a Swiss Army knife. I don't know. I don't remember that coming up later in the story, but I think it does. So, damn it. Alright. But seeing as how I want to make love to robots, let's give it a good sense of touch. So, you know, for future's sake, you know.
Touchy-feely robots are not quite as easy to sell to DARPA,
Ziegler says with a frown.
I want my robot to get along with people.
Oh, whoops. I want my robot to get along with people, you say. That's a universally useful goal regardless of who's funding it. +2 empathy, +1 grace.
Fine,
Ziegler says, waving away further explanation.
Carry on, then.
He turns to leave.
I've got to take a call from New York Times reporter. Funny how journalists all copy each other's stories, but each garble the message in a unique way.
He makes it to the door and then turns and says,
Oh, one more thing. Do you think the robot can be ready by tomorrow? Someone from the Air Force will be in town. I told her your robot might be ready to show off by then.
You feel your phone vibrating in your pocket. Bad timing? You resist the urge to check it while talking to your advisor, but it's probably someone with a better offer for what to do tonight. No, there's no way this robot will be done by tomorrow. Sorry. The robot will be done, but a demo will be out of the question. We need to test it first. I never straight out told him no before, and I've never said of course before. I always go in with the middle route. The robot will be done, but a demo will be out of the question. So I'm sort of keeping him happy and the military happy. Let's go with of course, because I have mystery. Sure, I'll have it done. Professor Ziegler nods appreciatively.
Excellent. Excellent. Good attitude. We'll make a professor out of you yet. I'll tell Captain Rogers to meet you here tomorrow. It's a nice controlled environment, pretty consistent light levels. I think not much can go wrong.
Yes, sir. Professor Ziegler turns and walks out of the machine shop. You find yourself unclenching your hands. Want to punch him? Who was calling you while your Professor Ziegler was talking to you? Ew. And I get to choose who my friend is. Let's see. Ellie Lau, a user experience designer and supportive friend. Eiji Aomame, a manga artist and generally good guy. My ambitious friend Josh Anderson, founder of a startup US Robots. Alright. So I can hang out with my friend. Oh, any one of my 3 friends. Supportive friend who designs stuff, think schematics and stuff, and yes, robots are involved too, because everything in here involves robots. Edgy and a manga artist, and really generally a really good guy. Actually, don't remember hanging out with this guy. And my ambitious friend Josh Anderson, founder of the startup US Robots. Let's see. So I can have good friends or a friend with a company. Let's do that. From the missed call, your phone is displaying Josh's profile photo. It's a picture of Josh, Ellie from the freshman welcome words. Josh and Ellie from the freshman welcome week dance 7 years ago. Ellie is wearing a red Chinese dress with gold trim, her long straight black hair falling down to the powlets? Honestly, I have no idea what those are. The flash is too bright in the picture, making Ellie's pale skin look washed out. Josh is wearing his usual gray hoodie, not having bothered to dress up for the dance, and his arm is around Ellie. What's the story behind this picture? I was in love with Josh's friend Ellie, but my studies always came first in college. I was in love with Josh, but I never knew how to be more than a friend to him. I had agreed to be Josh's wing person at the dance, and that's where he met Ellie. I was testing a music recognition algorithm where those two started bothering me. Yeah, it sounds like me. You had actually come to the dance just to try out your music recognition algorithm in a congested social environment with poor acoustics, when those two, who were on some kind of date, you guess, came up and started bothering you. Ellie asked you some technical questions about your sensors, and Josh said that if you ever want to create a startup around your algorithm, you should contact him. You told him the algorithm was trivial, not really worth starting a business about. They both seemed impressed with you despite your standoffish behavior. Am I autistic or something, or just not social? And you agreed to exchange contact information, then shooed them away. They've both since tried to get you to come out of your shell a little more, but you like your shell. It gives you space in which to think. For example, thanks to your efforts that day, the robots you made are often able to pick up on subtle cues in the music of speech called prosody, even in noisy environments. Cool. +1 empathy. You notice that Josh left you a text. Josh wants to meet for dinner at a burger joint in East Palo Alto. He says he wants to run some project ideas by you to see if you're interested in working with his company on any of them. It occurs to you that if you were working with Josh, you might be able to get funding for your education from him instead of Professor Ziegler's military grants. You text back. Okay, so I get some choices. You text back. Sounds great. See you then. So if I hang out with him, I get to open my options. He's got a startup company. It's robots. I like robots. Maybe he could hire me. Who knows? But that means I'll be missing out on working on my own robot to present to the military contractor the next day, which means I won't be as prepared. I might even fail at impressing the military, which means I get kicked out of college and I got no job. So one of these has to work. Or I can not do that. Hang out with my little robot and make him awesome. Impress military. Or I can do the third thing, which everybody does. I don't reply. I prefer to pretend I missed the text. Yeah, let's do that. I haven't done that before. Always answer. Sometimes you just don't feel like talking to people. This is one of those times. You spend the rest of your day drilling holes, polishing surfaces, cutting parts, and screwing things together. When you are done, your robot's body stands before you. A metal-winged robot with a masked head and humanoid hands. The whole thing is about 3 feet tall. Now it only needs a name. What will you name your robot? You can call him Pickle. Curry, Miku, Ariel, Caliban, Famulus? I don't know whether that's a reference to Gardilu. Let's choose our own name. I will call him... Damn it. I will call him... Joe? Where's a random name generator? Hoffy. I'll call him Hoffy. Hoffy the robot. Yep. Where'd I get Hoffy from? I remember reading an old stage play about World War II prisoners, and one of the prisoners' names was Hoffy. And that stuck with me. I like that name. Now that Hoffy has a body, it might be time to treat Hoffy more like a person. With what pronouns will you refer to Hoffy? It is just fine. It's not human. I will refer to her as feminine. I will refer to him as masculine. I would prefer to use an entirely new pronouns for robots: re, rur, and rim. It's a good question. How do I think of robots? I mean, because this one I'm forcing a gender on it. And it does... gender is more of a thing in which two things mate and create offspring, but robots can't do that in the, old in out kind of way. They have to sort of use the earth, mine for ore, and then clump that stuff together and make sure it fits. They'll make a new robot. Alright, so I'm gonna... Yeah, you know what? I built it in my image as a she. I did choose female to be a female in the beginning. Yeah, okay, I did. So I got a sister robot. Right. Encouraging people to think Hafi is human-like as opposed to object-like should help her get along with people. +1 empathy. You look on Hafi's 3-foot tall winged body, 3 feet, with satisfaction. Now all she needs are motors and a mind. The motors will have to wait for tomorrow. But you have spent years in graduate school writing the code that would form the robot's mind. You can hardly wait to try it out. You head back to your apartment where you spent several hours working on the final touches to Hafi's natural language processing code. What language do you program your robots in? Okay, the best thing for understanding words. I have no idea what Go is. I have no idea. I'm sorry. It's lost on me. The existence of Python's natural language toolkit made Python the clear choice for your robots. The right word can change the course of history. Your robot should understand the importance of using the right one. With fewer parentheses and more recognizable words than other languages, your code itself looks a little like poetry. +1 empathy. With the code done, you then briefly add just enough motors to allow Hafi to explore your room. It's a quick job. You'll do a more thorough one tomorrow. Your smartphone won't have much power for the motors right now anyway. Finally, you upload the code to your smartphone and plug it into Hafi's back. You touch the icon labeled Hafi, and a big red button fills the screen. Your finger hovers over the button. You probably want the first word Hafi learns to be significant somehow. What is the first thing Hafi will see when you power her on? Ooh, this is awesome. I got all tingly, creating. Let's just go through the options. Alright, I will start Hafi in front of a mirror. I will start Hafi looking at me. I will start Hafi looking out the window, and I just want to start naming things. Oh man, these are all so beautiful in their own way. First one, like having a creation willed into existence and having the choice of any of these, fucking amazing. My first memory is of me sleeping in a blanket in the park. Just having a warm sunny day and I could feel the breeze on my face. I don't remember that much else because the memory is very quick. But I remember the feeling. But after that, my second clearest memory is building a crib for my brother. I think I was 2 or 3 years old at the time. So, that's pretty young for my first memory. I don't exactly remember a whole bunch after that, but I remember that being my first memory. Building a toy crib. Of course, I wasn't doing shit, but I was just using a toy hammer and I was hitting the crib, but I was helping. All right, let's see. But okay, enough of my memories. Let's start some new memories with my new robot. I will start Hafi in front of a mirror. That would mean something that's coming into existence. You will know the first thing you exist is yourself. Cool. Okay. Showing the importance of your own creation. Okay. I will start Hafi looking at me. That shifts the importance of not on your own as yourself as a being, but on the creator. So towards me as a parent. So like, I am your master. I am your mother. I will I will show you the way. You are from me. I am above you. You know, that kind of thing. Well, I mean, that can be interpreted in many different ways, but this is how I'm interpreting it. Let's see. Or the third one. I will start Hafi looking out the window, and I will just start naming things. So, the first thing you were to show to open your eyes from non-existence to existence would be having a blank canvas, looking out into the world and giving things meaning right away. This is this. This is this. This is this. and you're just taking it all in. As in, you don't give weight into the existence of yourself or your creator, but to the world itself. Oh man, that's... Alright. I like that one. I like that answer. So the third option. I will start Hafi looking out the window, and I will just start naming things. Perfect. You place Hafi at the window looking outside, then a big red button. You begin pointing to things. Tree, car, person, flower, grass. Tree, car, person, flower, grass, Hafi says. She speaks in a monotone like a classic robot. A sequence of auto-tuned notes, like human speech but more musical. A nasal, excitable voice like a hyperactive munchkin with a cold. I like the auto-tune. So, just moving up on that grace. So I'm building my machine to be a work of art and beauty. So, yeah, that's the route I'll go. Hafi speaks with each syllable on a different... I should have picked a better name. What's your angelic winged robot's name? Hafi? I see. It's like, okay. Anyways. Hafi speaks with each syllable on a different note of a major scale, rising and falling in thirds and fifths, and when asking a question, expressing doubt, or providing a contrast, the lilting result sounds pleasant and a little otherworldly. As you list off things, Hafi walks up to the window, pressing her masked head against the glass. You can tell she is itching to explore the great wide world, so full of things, and is a little frustrated by the glass separating her from it all. Oh, and autonomy. +2 autonomy. You then pick Hafi up and put her down on the center of the room to allow her to explore at will. But at first she simply seems overwhelmed by the possibilities. You decide to call this state confusion. I then give Hafi a reassuringly straightforward order. Curiosity. I'll allow Hafi to choose where to go. Loneliness. I stand farther away to make the point. I will say... Well, I'll briefly go over the answers and what I think the consequences of it will be or what they represent. Confusion. I will give Hafi a reassuringly straight order, meaning I give this being purpose. I am the one who sets things in order by giving commands to my creation, to my robot. Well, not robot, my AI. To Hafi. Curiosity. I allow Hafi to choose where to go, meaning I give it its autonomy. I let it figure out things for itself. I let it grow. I let it be able to figure things out, like, oh, floors are hard. Things open. Like, give it a flower, it can bend, but it cannot be mended. You know, stuff like that. Be like learning like everybody else. Loneliness. I stand farther away to make a point. This one actually confuses me. I would think... What does this mean? To isolate it, to say that I am not in any way responsible for you, unless maybe forcing the robot's mind into coming to me for its guidance. I have no idea. No matter what, I'm never gonna pick this one. Let's see. Curiosity. I allow Hafi to choose where to go. The robot's mind is very different from a human's. I would think letting it learn on its own would have its own merits. Alright. Let's see. Curiosity. Hafi repeats. +2 autonomy. She walks up to your closet and peeks inside. but it's something of a mess in there, and she quickly gets her winged moving parts caught in your clothing. You pick Hafi up in your hands. She wriggles nervously. I got you, you say. You got me. She continues to wriggle. Stop. A robot becomes still in your hands. You decide to teach her that the word for this state is weakness. So I'm teaching it, you can't do anything. I'm in command. Starting from the bottom up here. For choices. Helplessness. Trust or peace. I would say trust. Okay. Trust. Hafi repeats back as you set her on the ground. You have taught her to have a little faith that when a human does something she doesn't understand, things will turn out well. +1 empathy, +1 military. Oh shit. Like, yeah, just pull the trigger. It'll be fine. I was just sleeping. It's fine. Shit. Alright. By now, it is near midnight, and you have another busy day ahead of improving Hafi. You get ready for bed, leaving Hafi plugged into the wall with your cell phone charger. Stay there, you tell her. Hafi obediently stays very still so that while you are drifting off to sleep, you glance down at Hafi just to make sure her code didn't crash. But she is still there, looking up at you adoringly. And you think she will probably remain like that all night. I have a child! It's so cool. Anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it off for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the story and my everything else about this playthrough. Alright, I really enjoy the story. Sci-fi is right up my alley. I may not get into fantasy. Also got another story coming up after this one's done, by the same company that does this, and I mean, the reviews look pretty good. I have no idea what the hell the story is about exactly, but I'm willing to check it out because I like this one so much. And if you liked it too, I am not sponsored. I'm telling you that right now. But if you want to enjoy this, it's on Steam, and I think they have their own websites. I'll have the links to them down below. You could always Google Choice of Robots on your own and find out more. So, yay! Anyways, continue chapter 2 in maybe a few days to a week. We'll see how my schedule works out with that. But thank you again for listening, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.